I'll take this as my last question to you, sir. So you said that when you're a medical practitioner, you'll also fight, and it's intertwined with the society. I just have this question on your fight, or I should say, your voice against the Howard Tamil chair. Being a Tamilian, why were you so against the Howard Tamil chair? Is it not? I mean, people call it a pride. I know you've mentioned Howard a couple of times in this interview. What was your prime reason to
Well,
do that?
look, first of all, let's take a couple of steps back. Tamil is the oldest language on the planet.
Absolutely.
It is, my dad, when we first came to the United States, he started the Tamil Society of New York, Bharatiya Society. So my dad, even though I think he first saw his first book when he was 10 years old because he grew up in war-torn Burma, but I'd consider him a Tamil scholar, even though he doesn't have a PhD or anything like that next to his name. But Tamil is the most profound and oldest language in the world. It has, I think, the greatest amount of love poetry. I think Yale recently recognized it as this. But here's the thing. Why do we need recognition from the Western world when Tamil itself stands on its own? And
Is
this
it
is,
not the same reason as to why you want to bridge the gap between medicine, Eastern and Western medicine,
well,
like
no,
spreading
no.
of our knowledge and culture?
Here's the difference, okay? Here's a big difference. One is the spreading of knowledge. What we're doing with Truth, Freedom, Health is we're going to everyday people, okay? It's very, very different. Versus to think, and this is a mistake, when the Tamil chair came out, I was so annoyed because what should happen is a Tamil center should be set up in India. And if interesting, Harvard should fund that. They have billions and billions of dollars in endowment, okay? And if you go look at the history of Harvard, where they made their money, they made it from probably quite a bit of money stolen from India. Okay, so they've already taken enough money. Here's an ancient language which is so wealthy. Where is the pride in those people in Tamil Nadu to not create a center there and then tell the Harvard scholars to come there? And if you look at the stuff that they're teaching at Harvard, it's not like they're teaching any ancient stuff. It's like basic vocabulary that they're teaching, okay? So I'm going to go to Harvard to learn basic vocabulary, and Indians and a lot of very, very, slavish doctors in Texas gave $6 million, and other people like Kamal Hassan, who, we can talk about, he's a nice fellow, but why are you taking money, raising money in donations in India and sending it to a multi-billion-dollar institution in Cambridge, Massachusetts, which doesn't need that money? If anything, Harvard should gladly open an institution like that for nothing. To transport funds there is the ultimate of having no dignity for yourself.
So you're only against the way it was set up. So you
It should
didn't
never have
like.
been set up. No, it should have been set up in India. And people should have gone to Harvard and said, you know what, we're going to give you the opportunity to fund our institution in Tamil Nadu, okay? I mean, look, if you wanted to study Greek culture, where would you go, Mala?
To Greece,
Right. So if you wanted to study Tamil, where would you go?
to Tamil Nadu.
Right. Why are you going to Harvard? Why is a Tamil scholar of Tamil Nadu has to go down to bow down at Harvard to legitimize themselves as a Tamil scholar?
Is it not the same that Harvard does for other language chairs, like
Doesn't matter. It
Chinese
doesn't matter
or
what they do.
Japanese?
Yeah, they do the same thing. They manipulate the entire world to thinking they're the source of all knowledge, which is absolutely not true. These big institutions are rewriting history. They will rewrite Tamil history one day.
But is it not taking advantage of the popularity of an institution like Harvard to tell to the world, or it's not a question of proving, it's a question of spreading that awareness and knowledge using
Yeah.
the
So
popularity of an
let me
institution
ask
like
you a
Harvard?
question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a very fundamental question. How many Tamilians are there at Harvard?
I have no idea. That's an honest answer.
Okay. How many Tamilians are there in Tamil Nadu? 60 million. Okay. Let's assume that. Okay. So let's just look at the population dynamics. If you wanted to get Tamil out to the global audience, right? You have to go back to the source. How is teaching Tamil at Harvard going to get Tamil out to billions of people, if that's the goal? Is the goal to have the prestige of a few people having their names on a Tamil chair at Harvard so they can say, oh, I helped set up that Tamil chair?
No,
Or is it
it's not for teaching the people of Tamil Nadu. It's for teaching the people of rest of the world about the
right? So
pride and the knowledge that is,
right. So
hidden in the language.
why does pride have to come affiliated with Harvard? Why can't it come indigenously from the people of Tamil Nadu?
It can definitely happen, but I'm
Right.
just asking, why don't we take advantage of its popularity?
Yeah, but the issue is why are you sending them $6 million?
That's a great question. Like,
That was the
that's
question. Yeah, so
yeah.
people should go there and saying, you know what, you're going to get the opportunity to spread the oldest language in the world, and you're going to pay for our scholars to come there and to teach that language. So there's amazing women scholars, professors in Tamil Nadu. Harvard should set up a program if they really wanted to transport those people there, pay them and fund them. They have $1 billion endowment. They don't pay any taxes. Go look at their endowment. They have $50 billion, or I haven't looked at their endowment lately. Why are everyday, hardworking Tamil people who've been subjugated for centuries by colonialism taking their money and sending it to the institution of white supremacy and colonial power? And especially someone like Kamal Hassan promoting this when he talks all about India pride and he's, fighting for all this and da, 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 right? This is where the disconnect is. This is where this deep brainwashing, and that's why I oppose that. Why are you raising? I saw children raising money in some village in Tamil Nadu, sending money to Harvard. Are you serious? How stupid can you be? How much knowledge is sitting in all those palm leaves when I went to India in Tambram that Harvard should be sending money there to research those? How much formulations of Indian medicine that we have? Why are we sending $6 million to Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts? That does not pay $1 in taxes. Their hedge fund managers at Harvard made, I think, $50 to $100 million. This is the brainlessness of this slavish mentality, and it needs to be busted. Yeah, great. You want to have a name with Harvard? Let them support it. But why are we sending $6 million of hard-earned money and telling young kids to do donations and send it there? We're
No,
giving,
I completely agree with
we're
that.
bowing down to false gods. Okay, that's what this
Yes,
is. This is having,
especially.
yeah, this is called a slave mentality. It needs to end. It really needs to end. And people need to start recognizing if you want to do great scholarly work, Tamil literature, Tamil medicine, Siddha Vaidyas, these organizations should be funding that, not the other way around. So these doctors should have said, you know what, we're going to have a fund if you wanted to do this. So you, Harvard, can put your name over here. You see what I'm saying? Completely ass
The
backwards.
other way around. Yeah.
Yeah, completely the other way around. I mean, how much knowledge? I mean, you look at the music. All over India, people come to Tamil Nadu every December, right? Because of the richness of the music, the richness of the medicine, the richness of the language. And that wealth is like a treasure. And to have this very illogical, irrational thinking that I'm going to fund Harvard and Harvard is now I'm going to have an affiliation. This is just stupid. No one needs Harvard to define themselves. In fact, let me tell you something. One of the things I learned was, I never knew about MIT until literally 2 weeks before I applied. My parents, we went to Paterson, New Jersey, which is a very poor school district when we first came, then to Clifton, and then to Parsippany. And the last 3 years, I went to Livingston, which was an all-Jewish high school, very wealthy high school in New Jersey, public school. Well, me and my sister were the only two Indian kids in that whole high school of 4,000 kids. I graduated top of the class of 900 kids, and no one told me about MIT. Isn't that amazing? You would think the guidance counselor would have told me about MIT. No one. Everyone was silent. No one. I was applying to a local state college and to Princeton. That's it. So why would no one, the guidance counselors, tell me? No one was advising me. So my mother had helped these two Indian women, both of them who'd gotten divorced, and they didn't have a place to stay. So this is a 19, whatever, it's 80 stay in we had a home and there was a room, and she was helping these women out. Well, one of them had a friend 2 weeks before the MIT application was due. He said, you should apply to the school called MIT. I said, what is that? I've never heard of it. And he gave me the brochure and it said Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I thought it was a mental institute. I had no interest in going. I was into athletics and all sorts of stuff, right? Besides math and email and all this kind of thing. Anyway, he wouldn't leave my home until I filled it in. I took a pencil and I filled it in, got accepted. And then when I got accepted, I remember coming and realizing that everyone I saw looked really unhealthy. They didn't look, and I had no interest in coming to MIT. Then my guidance counselor said, oh, you should go there. And I realized that the reason they wanted me to go there was that high school would get points, on their ratings. But what I can tell you is that it took me many years to realize that I was already, my high school teachers, public high school, who worked their butts off. I mean, my chemistry teacher had 3 jobs. The public school system created me. MIT just got to put their label on me. You see? So many of these very, very good universities, MIT and Harvard, they're actually getting the best. And most of the, and when by the time you go to the university, I learned more in my high school than I did at MIT, frankly. So there's a branding that's taking place. So they spend billions of dollars branding themselves as Harvard, as MIT, as Stanford, And in fact, now what's happened is very wealthy, dumb kids are getting into these institutions because the parents are by the time the kid is born, they're paying these consultants, I found out, right? And they pay $30,000, $40,000 for the people to write their essays. So the whole thing has become a racket. And in fact, the SAT quality has in fact come down. So you have this whole racket that's created by these institutions. It's all about their brand, So we need to relook at what is education. And, I learned more working in that small medical college with my public school teachers. What I learned at MIT when I came there was to learn how to fight. I learned system science. We organized one of the biggest newspapers, independent newspapers. That's what I learned in Boston. But the fundamental education already, I had learned most of that before I came to MIT. So we need to understand all of these big universities are brand building exercises. And the reason I put MIT PhD, you know why I do that? Because there are so many people brainwashed. And I can put that, and I can also expose them for what they are. So it's an interesting, ironic thing that I find myself in because I've been in both of these worlds. But I can tell you, anyone sending money to Harvard to get their acclaim needs to go through a serious re-brainwashing process.
Perfect. And before we answer about your truth, freedom, and health, what kind of curriculum that you teach, and you gave us a hint.
Yeah. So truth, freedom, health. Everyone listening, you should take the program. It's a 12-part program that involves. You get the same knowledge that I used to teach at MIT. It's a 3-hour course set. We have volunteers who teach it online. Then we've created the tool, Your Body, Your System, which I used to sell separately. We include that. We include 4 books. And then we have a community of people all over the world, 360,000 people now in 95 countries. We've created our own independent platform, independent of big tech, where we run all of this. So it's a complete educational program. It's a political movement. It is technology. It is all of those things. But the foundations of Truth, Freedom, Health are to teach people the science of systems. My view is every child in the world should learn the science of systems. So for adults in the United States, we charge, when I tried it, I used to teach this course at MIT for thousands of dollars. And when we tried to give it away for free, no one wanted it. So we charge in the US about $100. In India, we charge like India and Africa, like $38. It's nothing for all of this stuff. And then any adult who takes the course, they can give it to as many children as they want for free. So in India, when I went back to our village in Tamil Nadu, I gave it to 1,500 kids. So the bottom line is, it is the ultimate education because you understand the science of systems. And what is the science of systems? It is the science that is necessary for the modern world for you to make sense of the healthcare system, the political systems, the transportation systems. Your body is a system. And so that's what we've created. So truthfreedomhealth.com is the site. But in many ways, we're bringing together all the solutions I built for health, the solutions, the scientific method, and a lot of the ways that you can really start understanding politics beyond left or right. So that's what Truth Freedom Health is. It's a global movement. Everyone should take advantage of it. It's a political movement, an educational movement, a scientific movement. It's all of those things. And it is the only movement on the planet that offers this infrastructure to fundamentally change you. But the goal of Truth, Freedom, and Health is about you raising your consciousness to learn how to think beyond left and right. Because right now we live in a world of so much information, Mala. With all this information, you would think people would have more truth, more freedom, more health. In fact, what you find is now 2.5 billion people in the world are obese, half a billion of those being children. 40% of people in the world want to overthrow their governments right now. 650 million people in the world are anxious or depressed. Okay, and the list goes on. It's not like more information means that you get more wisdom. What we really have to get wisdom, or what we need, is knowledge. Knowledge is the science of systems. So that is what Truth, Freedom, and Health is.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Shiva. Thank you for taking time and talking to us and clarifying so many things. I wish you all success, sir.
Thank you very much. Be well. Thank you.
Thanks.